Have you ever been high? Yes, wow, you're so cool, but not as cool as CBDBro, who has tried every type of grass on planet Earth. Unfortunately, a lot of those stories have been removed / unreleased, so today we're going over the forgotten, now remastered and suitable for YouTube chronicles of CBDBro and his experience with some of the strongest zaza on Earth, starting with
Moonrock, the pinnacle of pinnacle, the sigma of alphas. It is the most feared type of grass there is. So much so, even Snoop Dogg himself said it's too much.
Moonrock is too much, dog.
That's what everybody keeps saying. I just want to try
It's too much for me, dog.
So obviously, being me, when I was on my little trip to Zaza Land capital, California. No, not California, I can't afford that. But I went to the next best thing. Amsterdam. If you know anything about Amsterdam, you know it's a magical place filled with rich history, culture, beautiful sights, and of course, most importantly, like, no, literally, you can buy basically anything there from a f***ing shop on the side of the road next to a damn candy store or something. But anyway, knowing that, me and my brother Rizex, after a long 4 days of partying, were looking for something to mellow us out. So we went to one of the 7,895 cafe / Zaza shops located at Amsterdam Central with the intentions of buying the strongest grass they had. As we walked in the store, we were greeted with Zaza heaven. Nah, I swear, we got high from just being in there. But after a couple seconds of amazement, we walked over to the store clerk and asked, hello, yes, we would like to purchase the strongest Zaza you have.
Do you mean normal bud or enhanced or what?
Enhanced?
Yeah, like Moonrock or...
Yeah, well, we'll have the Moonrock. A rash decision in the heat of the moment that will come to bite us back later. But for now, we bought ourselves some goddamn Moonrock. I mean, even the name, Moonrock, like it's gonna get you high up to the moon, just sounded so damn dope. As we were walking to our hotel, we did some Googling on this Moonrock, cause although we had heard of it before, our expertise stopped at it's some good shit. And what we found was kinda scary because we thought it was normal za, just like super strong, but turns out no, it's enhanced in ways we could not believe, but dipped in za oil covered with more za. So basically, it is the Frankenstein's monster of the stoner world. And also, we stumbled on this Snoop Dogg podcast clip where he said not to do it, which got us thinking, what type of unholy, chemically enhanced, mechanically upgraded ritual summoned za were we dealing with? But anyway, when we got to the hotel, we thought to ourselves, holy shit, does this thing smell? But we were also a little bit scared because, well, it definitely did not smell like normal zaza. And, well, we were a bit worried of how absolutely bedoinked we were going to get from inhaling it. Regardless, we decided to do it, as we were probably never gonna get a chance to smoke Moonrock for a while. Now, however, we had to decide how we were going to smoke it. The choices were roll a J, hit the BONG, or hit the can. And well, we decided on the BONG because it seemed a bit wrong to hit the strongest unholy grass from some beat up old Red Bull can. As we were loading up the hit, we told ourselves, this shit has gotta be overhyped. Yeah, for sure. And the time had come for us to finally get a taste of this unholy abomination society dubbed the Moonrock. And it went something like this. Okay, my turn. We had done it. We smoked the Instagram verified DEA certified loud. And well, from the first couple seconds of hitting that shit, we realized we had messed up. Cause you know how usually after hitting the BONG, it takes a couple minutes for it to fully hit? Well, in this case, we felt like we had done a whole bowl and waited those couple minutes. But the thing was, we felt like that instantly. So as we sat there completely zooted from the very beginning, we could only sit and wait for what was to come. And oh boy, it came. And it came like it was a damn gangbang facial. I was sat there feeling like my brain was on autopilot, like I was just an observer of my surroundings, unable to practice free will. Everything we did that day was just straight muscle memory. Like, I remember sitting there just talking with my brother about how messed up we were, and without even thinking about it, my body moved to the half-eaten Cheeto bag we had lying on the floor. And then I proceeded to absolutely demolish those hot Cheetos when my brother a couple minutes later asked me, "Hey, can you give me some Cheetos too, bro?" What the fuck? Yeah, so basically I was in that Cheeto bag for a good couple minutes, but because I was on complete autopilot, I didn't even realize I was eating them. But anyway, the rest of the night wasn't much better, cause you see, we were at a very cheap hotel in the middle of the city, and we could hear all the hustle and bustle. Now, that might not seem so bad, but because we were just so incredibly faded beyond belief, we were feeling like Daredevil when he just got his powers. We were feeling like newborn babies who just got thrown out in the middle of New York City, bro. Intense is the best word to describe it, I think. But because we just refused to green out and admit defeat to some dang za, we battled it out, mostly sitting in silence and scrolling TikToks, because, well, if you distract yourself with short-form content, you don't have to deal with the demons lurking outside. After an hour or so of that, we ordered some Uber Eats. Well, not some, we ordered like $100 worth, then proceeded to fill our stomachs with so many trans fats, Nicocado Avocado would be jealous. And of course, when you fill yourself up like that, you usually get pretty sleepy, and that did indeed happen to us as well. So at about the 3-hour mark, we hit the hay. Still really high, just not new dimension high. But yeah, that was my experience with Moonrock, and I gotta agree with Snoop Dogg on this one. You don't wanna do it. It's too much, even for goddamn CBD, bro.
Sunrock, the most powerful grass that humanity has ever conjured up, with even its less potent relative Moonrock being so extreme that Snoop
Moonrock is
Dogg
too
says
much,
it's
dog.
too much. And since I had once already traveled to the moon and made it back alive, barely, I saw it only fitting for me to conquer the sun as
The
well.
ultimate is sun.
But unlike last time, where I was in Amsterdam with my brother and had the comfort of tweaking together, this time I was alone, nearly 6,000 miles away from home, in the city of Sin, Las Vegas, Nevada. The story kicks off a couple days after I had hit my first blinker and discovered a new realm of high. You know, kind of like Columbus when he discovered America, but unlike Columbus who annihilated the indigenous people, I was annihilating the zaza, you know, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, after seeing firsthand what the land of the free can offer in terms of getting obliterated beyond the realms of Mother Nature, I was quite intrigued. So out of curiosity, I decided to Google strongest weed you can get in Las Vegas, just in case there was something more potent than Moonrock, which up until this point I thought was the pinnacle of bud. So after stumbling upon an article comparing the rocks from the moon and sun, I realized that in my ignorance I had crowned a false king, and the only deserving punishment for a big smarty pants weed stickman YouTuber like myself was to feel the full wrath of the true strongest weed in the universe. I hopped on the local Las Vegas weed dispensary site in hopes of having it delivered to me like the Benjamin, but either due to current weather conditions or just the delivery man greening the fuck out, it said, "We are currently not providing deliveries." But for the time being, I had no other choice than to leave my apartment and go to the closest dispensary in hopes of them having this exotic nug in stock. Only problem was that it was night and, well, your boy wasn't exactly staying at Caesar's Palace, so as I was preparing to go outside in the dark, where, mind you, I saw a guy walking around wearing a safety vest, rocking a handlebar mustache, and carrying a double-barrel shotgun the night before, I just had to take a quick rip from the bong to make it a high story, you know? Okay, 2 miles that way. Wish I had a car. Guess I'll just run. Fucking bullshit.
A few minutes later.
Hello, sir? Oh yeah, hello. You guys have something called Sunrock? It's like, nope. Just sold the last stock. Those guys bought it. We got Moonrock, though. No, I've already done that. You know where I can get some Sunrocks, though? Yeah, the store a mile from here should have some left. Okay, yeah, thank you.
A few minutes later.
Sorry, I gotta see your passport first, bruh. No, but this is like my government-issued ID, can you... Look, I'm sorry. We have a lot of people visiting from banana republics these days, and we can't start selling to everybody with a rinky-dinky, this is a real country, Google it, ID card. Come back with a passport, and I'll hook you up. I'm not from Banana Republic. We made Skype. We made Skype.
Hello there.
Yes, I had to now walk back 3 miles, get my passport, walk another 3 to get the sunrock, and then walk another 3 back home. And mind you, I had already ran 3 miles too. So you know, of course, cause your boy fast as ball, quick as an electrical jolt, I got an Uber back home. But now I was fresh again, so of course I put on my Space Jams and I got an Uber. But then when I was there and showed my passport, received my $80 weed, I was not trying to get robbed on the walkway filled with homeless camps and Las Vegas fiends, so I got an Uber. Finally, after wasting a week's transportation budget in 40 minutes, I was back in my apartment, sunrock in hand and rolling papers in my pockets. And yes, unlike last time with the Moonrock, I wasn't about to smack that shit from my bong and get assimilated. Cause from the blinker I had done a couple days back, I learned my lesson about concentrate. Do not underestimate it. So I rolled me up a Slimmy Slimmer, basically a very small J. And something you might not know is that with these caviar nugs like sunrock, you're not really supposed to grind them with a regular grinder, so I just used my fingers to break the nug apart, and because of that, well, let's just say the airflow on this J was god awful. Later on I would find out you're not supposed to smoke sunrock from a J at all, but hey, you live and you learn. Anyway, I went to my patio and attempted to light this abomination, and I mean, it really was. Imagine taking some A4 Wagyu steak and serving it in a dirty bucket, but alas, I still... The first puff, yes, the goddamn first puff got me drafted in a galactic war against the Matrix. And I think that had to do with the fact that Jay only had like 3 puffs in it, cause I was basically just smoking straight nugs. But I decided for the legacy of CBD Bro, I shall do another puff. The French Revolution, the Napoleonic Wars, the moon landing, the splitting of the atom, the theory of relativity, it all flashed before my eyes because I now saw the world from an interstellar position. And I would love to say I now went on some grand adventure and discovered the Holy Grail with some Las Vegas crackheads, but this was different. The high was spent glued to my couch, wondering the meaning of the universe and how I had traveled 6,000 miles across the ocean and was now sitting on a couch in some random Airbnb completely and utterly blasted beyond human understanding. After about 15 minutes of doing literally nothing but staring at my wall, I decided to watch some YouTube and found this guy called Oversimplified who makes these historical animation videos and spent a good portion of my high learning about the history of our world. Too bad I don't remember a goddamn thing, but at the time I felt like I was really becoming a damn scholar. I guess the lessons and memories of that high are waiting for me once I return to the land of the sun. Where am I?
Man, I told you not to smoke that sunrock. You stuck on the sun now, fool, with the rest of us.
No! Oh, no, wait, that was just a dream. Damn, I'm fucked up.
Yeah, bro. You were in a hell of a kush coma.
Yeah, I guess I was. Wait! Bro, I got stuck in a kush coma, my dudes. Shit was crazy, and I don't actually remember the exact dreams I saw, but they were pretty trippy, and it was one of those inception things that had me waking up from a dream into another dream, son. Safe to say, I had gotten assimilated. But it was kind of nice, because it was a real clear high without anxiety, which usually when you get that obliterated, it always comes accompanied with just a little bit of anxiety at least. So, are sunrocks stronger than moonrocks? Yes, but the main thing I took from this high was that they also kind of better, but I mean, I've only done both once, so. Moonrock, a type of weed that has been designed to bamboozle your frontal cortex and get you moving extremely irregular. Apparently so much so that Snoop Dogg himself finds them too strong and has warned
Moonrock
against
is
the
too
use
much,
of these
dog.
intergalactic Obi-Wan Kenobi exotic nugs. But CBD bro, you already smoked Moonrock a year ago. And yes, technically I did, but as I learned to discover just a few days ago, crumbling a Moonrock J into a bowl isn't even close to the real thing. But why did we buy a pre-roll instead of actual Moonrock that day? Well, you see, the J was $15 and the nug itself was $50, so I was just trying to save a little bit of money, I'm sorry. Now that we have that out of the way, let me set the scene for you. I just spent 24 hours going from airport to airport, flying my way to the USA of A. So I had what you might call jet lag, or a better way to put it, a non-alcoholic hangover. And if you know me, after a hard day's work, I like to indulge in that motherfucking top shelf gas. So right after getting to my apartment, I started scheming, cooking, fucking fiddling my thumbs on my electronic mobile device in search of some dank weed, bruh. And that's when it occurred to me. I hadn't smoked up in over 2 weeks. My tolerance must be damn near 0. Yeah, I don't want to overdo it. What's that stuff I smoked in Amsterdam again, though, that had me find demons? Moonrock? Nah. That'll disrupt my circadian rhythm. Wait. My circadian rhythm already is disrupted. Shit, Moonrock might just undisrupt it back to normal. So there I was, having made up my mind with absolute logic that could not be argued against. I concluded that the only thing potent enough to cure my jet lag was my dear old friend Moonrock. And remember how I said I found out a few days ago that what I smoked in Amsterdam wasn't actually Moonrock? Yeah, well, the few days I was referring to wasn't some random Google search. This shit would end up getting me so galactically obliterated, I scrambled to find out if I had smoked some lace grass, only to discover that the hole I dug myself into was no one else's fault but mine, god damn. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself here. After browsing the interwebs for a while, I found a place that sells Moonrock at an affordable price. So me, a carless man, decided to use the extremely sophisticated and thorough public transport system of the United States. I told you this was your last day, Johnny. I'm sorry. Just give me one more day. I'll pay it all back. I promise. Rest in pepperoni, you damn crackhead. Holy shit. Did I just hear a dude getting shot? Thankfully, I'm safe on the
We looking for ops, young niggas letting out shots. They don't give a fuck about the cops. We clutching the mobs.
So, after taking a bus I'm assuming was operated by the Crenshaw Crips, I arrived in the fabulous dispensary and was ready to get my dank Moonrocks. Hello, sir. How may I help you today? Yeah, I'd like to purchase some Moonrock. Sure. Do you have your ID or passport? Yes, I do. I came prepared. Yeah, checks out. That'll be $120. $120? I said I want Moonrock, not diamond-encrusted weed. Well, that's the price. You want it or not. Yeah, okay. After being bent over and having all my saved up rupees finessed, I held in my hand Moonrock. Not a cheap Moonrock J, some real sticky, icky, dank smelling nugs that looked like they really were from the moon. Unfortunately, that wasn't the end of my financial troubles because I was almost certain I had 30 minutes earlier heard a man being shot and killed near the bus stop. I didn't want to have my fade ran by the nearest gang affiliated Moonrock smelling thugs, so using the money I was hoping to buy food with the next day, I instead got an Uber. Oh yeah. After arriving back at my apartment, I made sure that this time I would do things right. So I googled how to smoke Moonrock and was instantly greeted with a mistake I had made. Or I don't know if it was a mistake, but this tutorial said to pack your bowl full of your favorite flower and then add a couple chunks of your Moonrock in. Which obviously I didn't do because I only had the damn Moonrock. Damn, I swear it was easier last time. This shit's sticky as fuck. Oh, well, screw it. I'll just pack it full of Moonrock. What's the worst that can happen? A grave mistake. A skibbity lapse in judgment. I was not at all prepared for what was to come, even though I thought I was. And the reason for that was my false understanding of how potent this shit actually is. I had smoked sunrock before, but did so from a J, which is not really how you're supposed to do it, making its potency noticeably lower. And the Moonrock I smoked in Amsterdam was apparently just a J covered in keef that we crumbled into a BONG, and on top of that, when you consider the copious amounts of top shelf Zaza we were smoking prior, I think you might be starting to see how this is gonna go. Here goes nothing. Holy shit. Okay, I know where this is going. The instant the first bit of high hit me, I knew I was fucked. But CBD bro, it's just weed. No, you don't know what you're talking about. The first wave was eerily similar to when I hit the Benjamin for the first time, doing 2 blinkers. And if you remember that video, you know I was about to go through one hell of a trip. I rushed back inside and put my bong and other gear away as fast as I could before my IQ would drop to the level of a 4-year-old. Then I proceeded to put on some random YouTube video about P. Diddy, expecting to be entertained, only to find out he's coming for you. He could be anywhere. Justin Bieber. Oh Lord. What did he do to him? Beyonce too? No, she's in the Illuminati. All the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies. Yeah, so I definitely chose the wrong subject matter to accompany my near greenouts, and I was 100% starting to tweak. So I finally decided to stop with this P. Diddy stuff, as it was not doing me any favors.
Okay, chill. I'll just put on some music.
I went in there and did it and made it, you can too. We done came a long way from broken shoes.
When you're rich like this, you don't check the forecast, every day's gonna rain. Yeah.
Wait, it can't be.
No, not you too. Drip too hard, don't stand too close. Look around, drown up this wave. After realizing that a lot of the music I grew up with was the product of an alleged monster, I was rather sad. So I tried to instead play video games, hoping that if I focused on guiding my brightly colored Fall Guy from falling off the map due to the extensive obstacles in his way, I would be fine. Okay, Fall Guys, let's play some Fall Guys. How much a man can fall. Fallout 4.
20 minutes later.
Yeah, I remember I used to love Call of Duty. Nuketown was the shit. Wait, I was supposed to play Fall Guys, man. What is this weed? I can't do shit. I could not focus on anything, bruh. Well, I say anything, but I really mean anything positive. As if I were to let myself slip for even just a moment that day, I could feel every single cell in my body. And when I'm that freakishly high and I start focusing on that little ache I have in my back or the speed of my heart rate, it takes me to Tweak Town real quick. I was trying to keep myself busy as best I could, but everything I did, I was either reminded about the horrors of P. Diddy or started overanalyzing if that pork chop I ate 5 hours earlier might have been undercooked and about to give me some food poisoning. Which, what the fuck am I gonna do then? I can't call the ambulance. I'm baked as fuck, and I'm in the US. It would cost me like 50 grand, bruh. Thankfully though, like with all grass highs, it's all in your head, and unless you took some Point Eddies, it starts wearing off in a couple hours. So all in all, I learned that Moonrock is way more crazy than I thought, and that I should probably revisit its more potent brother Sunrock as well, cause this trip left me wondering, what would happen if I smoked that shit properly? Dabs, concentrate, wax. It goes by many names. Whatever you wish to call it is up to you. Just know that in all likelihood, when the universe blessed humanity with the funny green plants, I highly doubt it planned on us using our technologies to abuse it, make it into something unholy, something so potent you can smoke away your soul. Guys, what are we doing here? See, Doctor? He doesn't even realize he's not himself anymore. He's deluded! He deluded himself! What the f*** are you talking about?
This could be a good sign. People often snap back from psychosis eventually.
Psychosis? Shit, I thought I was in Dabbington City, if you know what I mean. Yeah, he's back. Dabs are no joke, guys. Because of the super high concentration of THC, the risk of psychosis is higher. Although, well, don't worry, because you also already have to have a predisposition to mental health issues, meaning if normal weed doesn't get ya, dabs most likely won't either. All they'll probably do is get you moving extremely irregular. But that does not mean that you should be banging out dabs like you was dope as Yola, cause unlike my man whose brain could be sold at the top shelf of Cali dispensaries due to the high THC percentage, unless you already been smoking up for months, if not years, a potent dab will 100% get you geeking like Jimmy Neutron, bruh. However, if you're like me and have been on a 2-month vacation with a 24/7 all-you-can-smoke buffet and that flower just ain't getting you like it used to, you should lay off the za for a week or two, you dumb. Well, you should. I should've. But with my weedcation almost over anyway, and my returnal to the land of the not-so-free imminent, I decided to finally face my last foe, the only type of za I had not yet tried, bringing my journey of discovery to its final conclusion, my ultimate adventure, the last boss, an end of an era. I dubbed this chapter, Get High or Die. trying. Let me set the scene for you. I have been in Florida smoking up every day on that not CBD Zaza legal nationwide, baby. Don't get high off your own supply, they say. But since the supply was in a warehouse, I thought it didn't apply. Problem was, with 24/7 online access to premium bud, I got my tolerance up to levels I honestly didn't think was possible for me. But Florida is not the place this story takes place. It was just a prologue. After building up a Dracula castle-sized fort of tolerance in my body for 2 months, I flew my badonkadonk to Denver, Colorado, where za is legal on the state level. And I don't know if I just got lucky 3 times in a row or Denver has more dispensaries than grocery stores, but for some reason every hotel I stayed at had a dispensary right outside the door, like it was part of their compound or some shit. Anyway, once I arrived in my first hotel, I had no real plans of going to Dabbington City. In fact, I assumed because Colorado is like the capital of za, I could achieve the fate I was chasing by just buying some premium bud. But alas, turns out the not CBD grass I had been puffing prior was on the same level as the stuff in the dispensaries, and due to the insane tolerance I had built up, it wasn't really getting me where I was trying to go. However, because I had bought a whole ounce thinking it would be more potent, I was kinda stuck smoking a shitload of it for a while. It wasn't until I went to my next hotel when I finally ran out and was in the market for some exotic again. But this time I knew flour wasn't going to be enough. If I was going to end my multi-month US trip with a bang, I needed something that would face my insane tolerance and overcome it. Push me back into Yodi land one last time. So I went to the dispensary and explained my situation to the clerk. Hello sir, what can I get for you today? Yeah, so I'm looking for something strong. Well, in that case, I guess I recommend edibles, maybe some Moonrock or dabs. What do you like? I've never done dabs before, but I have heard that they're very potent, so I guess I'll go with them. Fabulous choice, sir. I have 3 types here. The cheap stuff, the good stuff, and the insane stuff. It was at this moment that I sealed my fate. My overconfidence consumed me, and I answered, "Give me that insane shit, bruh." 92% THC is the wax I received, and to all you za experts who are already typing, "THC% doesn't mean anything. Has this guy ever even smoked before? LOL. I live in my basement alone, and all I smoke is that exotic." Nah, for real, bro. Last video some dude said what matters most is the plant's DNA and its heritage. Like your average smoker is gonna walk into the dispensary on some, excuse me, could you tell me about the DNA compensation of this za? Yeah, I don't know, bro. It says OG. Of course I see that, but tell me about the history of this particular plant. Were its ancestors also original gangster? Look, man, I get $14 an hour here. I don't freaking know. I've smoked it before. It's pretty good. Anyway, now that I got my premium dabs, I needed a way to smoke it. But because I knew doing dabs is not as easy as just, say, ripping a BONG, I decided to do a bit of research before buying any equipment. So I went to the closest Starbucks, sat down, and...
This is what you're gonna need. A cap, a nail, terp spinner, which is optional, a rig, Q-tips, a torch, a timer, dab tool, and a set of lungs.
Well, that's ridiculous. I knew it wasn't simple, but what the fuck is the main thought that went through my brain. I had no idea you needed a whole damn chemistry kit to take a dab, but I had already committed. I mean, that premium wax wasn't cheap, and I was determined to finish what I had started. So I went to the closest smoke shop like, "Hello there, can I help you with anything?" Yeah, so, I need a cap, a nail, a spinner, a rig, Q-tips, alcohol, a torch, a timer, and finally, a dab tool. Do you have all of that? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can find all that stuff around here somewhere, but you could just buy this electronic pen. Probably be a bit easier. Oh, well, sure, but does it include, a cap, a nail, a terp? No, but, like, you can do a dab with it. Oh, fantastic. I'll take. As it turns out, all you really need to take a dab is a e-pen, but I'm sure I'll be lectured in the comments about how that's not the same and how I've never even been high before. Anyway, I was now almost ready to enter into Dabbington City. But it was not gonna be easy, as I was staying at a no-smoke hotel. So I grabbed all my stuff, walked like 10 feet from the hotel, loaded my dab, and... Oh, it's not on. So I put it on the high setting, waited a couple seconds, and prepared to smack it again. I was done. finished, bamboozled. No words can describe how absolutely grade A I was. I knew from the moment I exhaled that I needed to get to my room as fast as possible because this high instantly reminded me of when I first blinkered a Benjamin, only even more intense. I felt like my eyes had caved into my brain, making me more third person than first. Also, I could detect every organ in my body individually, and the sound of my heartbeats were constantly playing like some background music. I don't even know if I finished the whole dab, but I just knew I had to skedaddle before I... Wait, is it a bit cold? No. No. You see, I have this weird, awful debuff I only get sometimes when I'm like really hot. And this is the misperception of being extremely cold. It's like this weird trigger I have when I get too faded, and because I've experienced it so many times, it's like this unholy, intrusive thought that I just can't avoid. You can imagine my situation was not ideal. I was tweaking harder than I probably ever have before, and I just started slowly walking back to my hotel, trying to think of anything besides my bodily functions. I made it back inside, still shivering from my mental debuff, and walked to the elevator as fast as I could, where I had an awkward encounter with a fellow guest. I'm a swerve in the corner, whoa. Is it really that cold outside? No, it's pretty warm actually. Oh. Okay. That dude must have thought he just talked to a local crackhead. But anyway, the instant I got back to my room, I snuggled into my bed to warm up and hopefully stop tweaking, which eventually I did, but I was still scared to leave the comfort on my warm sheets, so I just kind of watched funny YouTube videos until I came down a bit. After about 30 minutes, I stopped geeking and instantly ordered some food, but not just any food. I ordered a large Baconator combo from Wendy's like a true American. And I know I say this every high story, but this time I can't emphasize it enough. That shit was bussin'. Combine my already empty stomach with the wax high, then throw in bacon, cheese, and lettuce. Yeah, I added lettuce to my burger. Why? Because fitness isn't a choice. It's a lifestyle. So, sorry to disappoint you guys, but really that's about all that happened. The high was very similar to my first Benjamin. Tweak at first, vibe later. Will I be doing dabs again? Probably not, because they're pretty expensive and build up your tolerance super fast. Did I enjoy my time in Dabbington City? Well, besides the first 30 minutes where my brain got Doctor Stranged into Antarctica, it was fun, although it did make me very stupid. As I remember trying to connect my PS5 to my TV, and for like 15 minutes, I was trying to figure out why it wasn't showing up on my screen until I realized, oh, I'm missing the HDMI cable, dumbass.